Welcome to The Explainer. We all put a ton of trust in Google, right? We count on them to keep our entire digital lives safe. It's a promise of total security. But what happens when that promise gets a serious reality check? Today, we're going to break down the massive Google data breach and what it really means for you and your data. It all really starts with this idea, this promise. All of Google working for you. I mean, think about it. Billions of us have built our digital worlds on top of this foundation. We expect everything to be seamless, helpful, and above all, secure. So what is that promise exactly? Well, Google doesn't just sell your services. It offers a central hub for pretty much your whole life online. It's meant to be like a perfect personal assistant, one that makes your life easier while keeping your most important info totally locked down. And the promise they make is huge, right? We're told our data lives inside this digital fortress, guarded by some of the best security on the planet, stuff that's supposed to automatically zap threats before they can even get close. The picture they paint is one of complete, effortless safety. So, the bottom line couldn't be clearer. Your digital life, your emails, your contacts, your private files, it's all supposed to be completely private and totally secure. That's the standard. That's the bar Google has set for itself. But then, August 2025 happened, and that promise of a perfectly sealed fortress, well, it was seriously challenged, and it showed us that even the most well-defended walls can have a crack. And the scale here is it's mind-boggling. We're talking about 2.5 billion Gmail users. That's a massive chunk of the internet, with almost everyone potentially feeling the ripple effects from this single breach. But this is where it gets really interesting. Take a look at the timeline. The hackers first got in way back in June. Google didn't actually confirm the attack until the beginning of August. That's a 2-month window, 2 whole months where criminals had access before anyone even knew something was wrong. Experts jumped on this right away, and Jamie Octor, the CEO of CyberSmart, really hit the nail on the head. He said if this can happen to Google, a company with basically unlimited resources, it can happen to anyone. It's a huge wake-up call for everyone. So the billion-dollar question is, how did they pull it off? How did hackers get inside Google's digital fortress? It wasn't some super complex movie-style hack. The vulnerability was a lot more familiar. It was us. It was human. The attackers used a classic technique called social engineering. This is all about the art of the con. Instead of hacking a machine, you hack a person's trust. You exploit human psychology, not software code. And a really common way they do this is with something called vishing, which is just phishing over the phone. So here's the play-by-play of exactly how it went down. A hacking group called Shiny Hunters just picked up the phone. They called a Google employee, pretended to be from IT support, and simply talked them into approving a malicious app. That's it. It wasn't a crack in the code, it was a crack in procedure, exploited by one very convincing conversation. Okay, so this brings us to the most important question for you, for me, for all 2.5 billion of us. What does this actually mean for our accounts? What did they get, and what's the real danger we're facing now? All right, this is probably the most crucial point to understand. Your passwords, they're safe. Your credit card numbers, they didn't get them. Your sensitive personal files, nope. The really good news is the crown jewels are still in the vault. What the hackers did get was more basic stuff, but they're using that data for something much more subtle. See, the real threat isn't that hackers already have your password. The threat is that they now have just enough information about you to sound incredibly convincing when they try to trick you into giving it to them. They're crafting these hyper-personalized scams, emails, phone calls, texts that look and sound so legitimate it's scary. Their whole goal is to make you willingly hand over the keys to your own account. And this right here, this is the single most important piece of advice to burn into your brain. The security experts at Proton put it perfectly. Google will never call you out of the blue about a security problem. If you get a call like that, don't argue, don't hesitate, just hang up. It's that simple. So now that we know the real danger is deception, what can we actually do about it? Well, the good news is there's a simple, super effective playbook you can follow to secure your account. Let's walk through it. It really boils down to 3 concrete actions you can take right now. First, change your password. Make it new, make it strong, and make it unique. Second, enable 2-factor authentication, and preferably what's called a phishing-resistant one, like a passkey. And third, take 2 minutes and run Google's security checkup tool for some personalized recommendations. Now, Google is pushing hard for us to start using these passkeys, and honestly, for good reason. A passkey uses your face or your fingerprint to log in. And think about it. A scammer on the phone can trick you into telling them a password, but they can't trick you into giving them your fingerprint. It basically makes that whole type of attack impossible. Ultimately, this whole incident forces us to ask a really critical question. We rely on these huge tech companies to build these impenetrable digital fortresses for us. But if the weakest point is always a person, whether it's an employee who can be tricked or a user who can be phished, then who's the ultimate gatekeeper of our data? It kind of makes you think. In the end, the final line of defense might just be us.